Previously on Gears.
As I'm sure you've been aware that I have been away for a couple of days. So here we go. Let me tell you about my BlackBerry visit to Budapest in Hungary, which I'd never been to before. So I was very excited to go. And I got to tell you, it was a proper VIP experience. You know, we ran the competition over here, and our winner, Brandon Landy, got the real McCoy, let me tell you. So let me start when we arrived at the airport. I arrived, and I got hold of Brandon. I said, listen, you know, when you get here, I'm going to check in, etc., etc. I'll meet you up in the business lounge. And eventually he arrived, and, well, we shook hands. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. We had about an hour before we were boarding. And this was his first time ever going outside the borders of Africa. He's been to Mozambique. That's it.
Wow.
Okay, so he'd never been overseas.
No wonder he went so crazy when he heard he won.
Exactly. So he'd never been overseas before in his life. He had just picked up his Hungarian Schengen visa in the morning, and he was ready. So there we were, the two of us with our very cool BlackBerry backpacks, ready to board our plane. Walk in, thank you very much. Business class, that'll do. Glass of champagne, thank you very much. And flew over, arrived in Munich, in Germany, which was cool. Got our connecting flight, and eventually, well, we got stuck a little bit on the tarmac, where we were in the plane with our connecting flight, and the German pilot came across and said, "There's a little bit of emergency problem that we might be delayed a few minutes, so please be patient, everybody." And we were patient, and we flew over. And we flew to Budapest. But let me tell you what happened on the plane. Just as we're going to board, there was this weird American guy, okay, who rocked up at the counter and threw his stuff onto the counter, and he looked a little bit out of it. Got to tell you, there's this huge, big Texan kind of hat on, okay, and he had this overcoat on him with him, which, I mean, you would wear in the North Pole. Now, you got to understand, it's summer in Europe. And his shirt was hanging out, and now he was chatting. Then he came to stand next to me, and he tried to start making conversation about what we were going, where we were going, what we were going to do, etc. And, you know, I've traveled a bit. You don't want to get into a conversation with a guy who's already now upset the checking counter ladies. So I started speaking Afrikaans to him. That's it. And we left it, and we boarded the plane. This guy gets onto the plane, and he walks about 4 rows behind us and sits down. Cut a long story short, he got kicked off the plane. Yeah, he got kicked off.
Was he drunk?
I don't know what he was. But the pilot came and eventually said, "Listen, pal, off, blah, blah, blah." And he started asking the pilot, when's the next flight to Budapest? The guy said, "Hey, go and check in and go and find out yourself." That was it. So, guy got kicked off the plane. So imagine if I was having a great conversation with this guy, we would have got...
I found that so hilarious
Yeah.
that you chose to speak Afrikaans.
Well, that was it. I mean, what
did he do?
No, he was trying to, get my attention and talking. He knew that I could speak. Eventually, I just walked away. So that was it. So we arrive in Budapest, and there's a guy standing outside. BlackBerry, thank you very much. Oh, on the plane we see Alan McNeish. Alan McNeish is the guy who won Le Mans again. He used to race for Toyota in Formula One. So I said, "Hey,
Wow.
Congratulations." And he said, "Oh, thank you very much." And so we get there, and Vio is our guy who picks us up. Now, Vio, I can't remember his surname. Andriokakeli is something. He's Greek, but he's German. He's German. Born in Germany, raised in Germany, but he's Greek by descent or whatever. He takes us in our sponsored, thank you, Mercedes Viana with BlackBerry on the side. All the pictures are there up on the Facebook page. And just the two of us in one of these Vianos, and we're sitting over there. We've got our bottles of water, a couple of snacks, whatever we want. Get taken to our hotel, which is Le Méridien Hotel. It's in the hub of Budapest. We arrive there, and there are people standing outside the hotel, not just your concierge people and porters and that. There are like just people standing, like sort of marked off in railings. So we get out, and they're looking and looking and looking. So, they thought maybe we were famous. But that didn't...
I'm sure you claimed it. Walked in giving the Queen's wave.
Sort of little royal wave or something. So that didn't materialize. But now, because we were delayed, we were running a little bit late. So we sort of checked in, sat down, had a quick beer, and then we were getting a shuttle service to the circuit. for the Thursday afternoon, we were going to go and meet there and hopefully meet up with Lewis Hamilton in a press conference. So our shuttle arrived, Izzy, a Mercedes S-Class limo. Guy gets out, opens the door for us. Thank you very much. We both sit in the back seat. It's got those shutter blinds.
No.
Yeah, no. So you're a proper VIP, proper VIP. So this'll do. So we shoot off to the circuit and get dropped off by this caravan where we meet our BlackBerry friends, Simon and Sam. Brilliant guys, guy and girl. Brilliant people. So Simon says to us, he says, listen, guys, let's get our way up there and try and get into the pit walk. Because basically on the Thursday afternoon was a free pit walk for people who had a Friday afternoon pass. Don't forget, this is Thursday afternoon. It took us so long. There were so many people. There must have been 15,000, 20,000 people trying to get into the pit walk. We eventually got into the pit walk, okay? So it was Simon, Brandon, and myself, and then we met up with Ola from Mercedes AMG Petronas. And he gave us some very fancy passes, and everyone's standing behind the railings. Now we move into the railings. So now
you are the business.
Now we're pretty fancy. We've got our fancy little thing. So it takes us through to the Mercedes-Benz motorhome. But the press conference, unfortunately, had already finished with Lewis. So he said, no, never mind that, guys. We'll take you on a garage tour, and you can go and see everything that's going on. So we go into the Mercedes-Benz garage, and there are only certain areas you're allowed to take photos, and there are certain areas you can't take photos. And he took us up close, but I mean the inside of the gearbox, how the gearbox works. You know, to me, this stuff's very, very exciting. The drive shaft that is in the actual carbon fiber sort of wheel attachment. Those kind of things. Then the engine, right up close with the engine, and then talking to all of the other engineers, etc., etc. And then we go around the front. Then we can take photos of the cars being prepped and getting ready for Friday free practice. And then there were certain of the teams that were practicing their pit stops. Sauber, Williams, Caterham. So we were hanging around there, taking photos of them practicing their pit stops. And we're on this side of the barrier. Don't forget, and the other thousands of people on the other side of the barrier. So we were there for about a good half an hour. Which was very, very cool. So then that evening we had on our own. So Brandon and I caught ourselves a taxi, just a normal taxi, because our S-Class guy, unfortunately, couldn't hang around, you know. So we just caught a normal taxi driving back to our hotel. Now, don't forget, we've seen nothing of Budapest. All we've seen is the hotel, getting in cars and going to the circuit, and now we're coming back to the hotel. So before that, I'd asked the concierge, I said, listen, where's like the hub, you know, where I mean, it's middle of summer, there's loads of great things happening. So he says, no, you make your way to the cathedral over there and you'll see it. So we're driving back and I see the cathedral, and then we're driving and I see this square of a hive of activity, just hundreds and thousands of young people having drinks and all of that kind of stuff. I said, this is the place, we've got to find this place. This is the place. Just remember where this place is, because now we don't know our bearings at all. So we think, okay, it must be there. It can't be too far to walk. So the taxi driver turns right at our hotel. It's across the road.
Oh, no way.
It's across the road. So we think, okay, here we go. So
you were staying in like an insane hotel.
Oh, no. The hotel was unbelievable. So we get back now. We check into our rooms properly or whatever. And I say to Brandon, come, let's go across the road here. And let's go and find out what's going on. So we go across the road, and it's just a vibe. I mean, it's hot. It's properly hot. Just such a vibe. So we go over there and order ourselves a beer, and then I watch everyone, and they're drinking this pink drink. Everyone's drinking this pink drink. So I think, well, listen, we've got to try and drink what the foreigners what the locals are drinking. So I go to the bar place and I say, well, listen, what is that they're drinking? No, it's a rosé spritzer. So I think, great, let's give a couple of those. I'm not averse to a little bit of wine.
No.
So we drink a few.
That's delicious.
Yeah, no, it was delicious. So we drink a few of these things, and we're sitting down at a table having a drink or whatever, and behind us there's a group of Hungarian girls, and I must just tell you, these Hungarian girls are very, very pretty. That's a beautiful specimen of people. So now I'm sitting in our turn.
I must say, I've seen quite a few pictures of girls on Facebook from your album.
Oh, I don't know how that happened, but geez, they were pretty. And the one girl looked the spitting image of Mila Jovovich.
Oh, wow.
But like this, and so, I mean, you couldn't take a photo. You couldn't say, hello, can we take a photo? Anyway.
Maybe it was her.
Yeah, but I wrote it down. I wrote it down here, having beer. Mila Jovovich lookalike. Otherwise, I've forgotten.
This is so cute. You've made notes.
I made notes. So then that evening, so Brandon's a bit tired. He goes back to his room. I go back to my room. No, I can't do that. So I go back to this place. And then I find the wine area. And it's basically every single place is just a drinks place. And you go in there and it's like going to Taste of Joburg. But this is Taste of Hungary. So you go there and you buy your glass, and then you have Mum champagne, then you go to the next one, you have Mut champagne, and then you have a Veuve Clicquot, and then you have a local one, then you have...
delicious.
And I mean, and unfortunately, the one problem is that our money is very much monopoly money.
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive. So that was okay. So woke up on the Friday morning, get up, thank you very much, ready to go. We've got Via, our driver man, very, very cool, get in there. And Friday's a good day to go to a race day, because it's not overly busy. So we get there, we find our seats because we're sitting in the grandstand, which is thank goodness, because it's very, very hot. And in the Super Gold grandstand where we were sitting, we were undercover. The other people that were not in cover, I'm telling you, there were problems over the weekend because the heat was so much. So we watched the first free practice. That's very, very cool. And I'm busy sitting down there, and there's a lady sitting like in a row in front of us, about five away to the left. And she turns around. She's wearing a nice Fernando Alonso cap, and she shouts my name out. So I go, hello, hello. She's from Kenya.
No way.
Yeah. And watches us on the TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I went and had a picture with her and her family, and her and her husband in the Ferrari outfit, the little kid in the Sebastian Vettel Red Bull outfit. So it was very, very cool. And then you get hungry. So now you want to eat in Hungary, so you're not too sure. So you think it's like German or whatever. So there's big, large sausages, bratwursts or whatever. So I decide, well, I'm a bit hungry or whatever. So I go and order the sausage. But I promise you it's about this long. But it's not really a sausage. I don't really know what it is that I ate. I mean, I just ate because I'd been drinking a few beers, because it was very, very hot. And you had to keep your hydration going. So you drank quite a lot of beer. But I ate this huge sausage thing, which was a bit strange. And then...
was it at least delicious?
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't very pleasant. I don't know what it was.
So basically you should have just stuck to the beer.
Yeah, which I did there afterwards, until I found the pizza place. But that's another story. So then we go back to our seats, sit down. Thank you very much. Miss Columbia comes to sit next to me.
Whoa.
Well, I thought she was Miss Columbia. She was divine. So she's sitting next to her husband, who's from Mexico, but he's about 90 and she's about 25.
Okay.
So her name was Sandra. His name was something else.
His name was Billionaire.
Yeah, something like that. And then I spoke to you guys. Okay. And then sitting in front of me, I had the Flintstone family. You've never seen people so large in your life. And I thought, this is going to be unbelievable. Now, the whole Grand Prix weekend, I'm going to have these people sitting in front of me the whole time. Subsequently, it didn't turn out that way. They were only there for the Friday free practice. So the Friday night, then we got to dinner with Sam and Simon, the people from who were entertaining us from Blackberry. We went to the stunning restaurant right next to a beautiful church. Had a lovely steak tartare, had a nice ribeye steak. It was terrific. They went their own way. Brandon and I decided, well, what do we know? Let's go back to our little jaunt over here. So I took him to the place that he had missed out on the previous night. And we went around and we drank all of this. And then we found these martini people, and we drank all of their martinis and blah, 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 blah. And eventually we went to sleep. So we woke up on Saturday morning not feeling too posh. Went back to the circuit. Now we've got free practice 3. We've got qualifying to do. Get there, and Brandon's, he's not handling. These youngsters today, they can't handle, lady. So we're sitting down. So I say to him, I said, and it's hot, eh? And there's nothing worse than having a big hangover and it's hot. So I say to him, I said, listen, why don't you try and go up the hill a little bit, find one of the trees or whatever, and go and lie down, have a sleep. So he disappears for about half an hour. He comes back and he goes, listen, I can't handle this. I need to go back. So I phoned the driver, Vio, and Vio is there. He says, no problem or whatever. Takes Brandon back to the hotel. Listen, at least he was honest about it. I mean, the guy was dying. He was really taking strain. So I spent the afternoon, and it was very lucky for me, because Simon and Sam, our entertainers or whatever, they also had another crowd of 50, 60 people that they were looking after. But they had the special paddock passes. But they only had 3 amongst them. So now Brandon had disappeared. I was there on my own. So they called me, Simon called me, and he said, listen, would you like to go and have lunch in the Mercedes motorhome? So I said, no, I'd actually just prefer to stay here in the hot sun and eat one of these really large sausage things that I don't really know what it is. So I meet him and we walk across the bridge, and now we're in the whole paddock.
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
Have you met Lewis at this stage?
No. We didn't meet Lewis. We didn't even see him. No, we didn't. He was meant to be staying in our hotel, by the way. I'll get to who was staying in our hotel, but he wasn't. Him and Nico decided they wanted to stay at the circuit, so we didn't see them. Aww. So I'm walking down the paddock and I see just about all of the drivers. I mean, from test driver Pedro de la Rosa, Hulkenberg. You name it, they were all there. Checo. So all of the drivers going to the Mercedes-Benz motorhome. Nicky Lauda's sitting over there. That's all great. We sitting down having something to eat. Find out that the chef lady in the back cooking all the food is from South Africa. I think, okay, cool. That's very, very nice. I'm sure we'll. And then also I got a tweet from a girl last week before I left telling me she's from Cape Town, saying that she's doing Singapore, India, Abu Dhabi, and I think Brazil. She's also part of the catering team of Mercedes-Benz. Where were we?
You were eating lunch.
Yeah, so we had lunch at the motorhome, which was really, really cool. And then I walked around the pit complex or the paddock complex for a while, etc., and made my way back to my seat. Went and watched the qualifying, which was electrifying. And as soon as the qualifying finished, just bolted out of there, got onto my shuttle, and Vio and I drove back home because the traffic, also gets quite interesting. I found one of the coolest T-shirts, but unfortunately, it was some guy wearing it. Because Nike has the thing, just do it. So I found that shirt, Adi, then does. Have you ever seen that?
Very cool.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
Adi does.
Yeah. There we go. And then Simon and Sam. Funny enough, we didn't get a picture of the. I think, or maybe Brandon took a picture of us.
Did you carry this book around with you the whole time?
Of course. So Simon is like a
nerd.
Simon is like
so cute. Did you wear your spectacles and braces while writing?
No. So Simon is like a younger Ryan Gosling, by the way. Okay, that's what he looks like. And Sam is like looks like Anna Kournikova.
Ooh.
So
are they a couple?
No, they're not a couple. So then I was writing down what happened in Q1 and Q2 and Hamilton on pole, blah, 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 blah. Then what was amazing, Simon phoned me and he said to me, listen, later on in the hotel, I've organized an interview with Paddy Lowe. So I was like, oh, brilliant. Now, Paddy Lowe is new recruit at Mercedes-Benz, came from McLaren. He's the executive director technical. Okay, cool. So I get back to the hotel, which is all cool. I go and freshen up, and I go down into the hotel. The one bar is called the White Lounge. So I go there and have a nice little glass of bubbles, which is nice. But the amount of people that are standing outside the hotel. Now, we at the La Meridian, and next door to us is the Kempinski Hotel. Okay. In our hotel, we've got the Williams team, the Sauber team, the Mercedes team. Okay, in our hotel. In the hotel next to us, there is the Ferrari team and the Red Bull team. So you must understand, you arrive back at the hotel and now you're in your fancy BlackBerry car and you get out and people are like looking, okay, who's this? I don't know, we don't know who he is. But as soon as they get wind of what's going on, they're running from one hotel to the other to just try and get photographs or whatever. So Bottas was there. Valtteri Bottas arrived sort of when I arrived. And I just bumped couple people out the way and I said, hey Valtteri, how's it going? I know Cheryl Calder very well. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, you the guy from South Africa? I said, yeah, thank you, blah, 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 blah.
That's cool.
Which was very nice, yeah,
wow.
Which was very cool. And then Vettel arrives at the hotel next to us. And Vettel's got this fancy Infinity car FX50, but it's done up. Okay, and this is the first time I'd seen it because I'd heard that they were doing a special edition. Oh, my word. Oh, it's proper. Oh, she's it's proper. So anyway, so that's what happened. So eventually I meet up with Paddy Lowe We have a special room set up for us. Got my flash mic. We do the interview. We chat for about 20 minutes. And most of the talking is all about 2014, how it's going to be, what's the car's going to sound like. That's amazing, etc., etc. Also, cheers. And then, oh yeah, I'm in the White Lounge and I meet the lady who's serving me drinks. She's from Moldova. Okay. Did you know that Moldova have the biggest wine cellars in the world? How's that? And you're a wine lover, Ian. Mm. Also, they have underground streets in Moldova. Not an underground train session or underground streets. So they've got a normal road and they've got underground streets as well.
Of what?
For people to drive in. I don't know.
Wow. That's cool, like an underground tunnel.
Yeah, tunnels. Then it got a bit pear-shaped because I had finished now my interview. I had all of my stuff with me and I wanted a cigarette, so you can only smoke outside. So I go outside and there's another bar area and I sit down. I've got all my stuff with me. Great. And I meet the two Scots. Ian and Susan. So Ian and Susan, now this is about 7:15 in the evening. Sun only goes down at about 9. So this is about 7:15 in the evening.
You know, you just got to remember that in Scotland there's very bad weather and nothing to do but shag and drink.
Yeah. So we didn't do any shagging. We
Sounds
just
like
drank.
your kind of thing.
Yeah. Hello. So we just ended up drinking. So I don't know, but it was about 11 o'clock that evening. Some friends of theirs arrived, also from Scotland. But the one girl was so hysterical because she was real Glaswegian, so you couldn't understand a word she did. Right. But in her rush to, I suppose, meet me, because bumped the damn table and knocked my flash mic off and shattered it. Yeah, so I lost the interview with Paddy Lowe.
Oh no!
Which is unfortunate. It's just one of those things. But I managed to put the whole thing back together again, and it seems to work. But somewhere along the line, we lost that or whatever. So it was a rather interesting late night. Sunday, race day. Too much excitement. Get up. Thank you very much. You see all the drivers in the morning. Pastor Maldonado's there at breakfast. Jensen's there. The McLaren team were with us as well in the same hotel. Williams were there. Sauber was there. So everyone's getting excited. We all go off to the track. Terrific. We watch the FP2 race. Brandon and I are just mingling around, getting something to eat, something to drink, and you get back now into your seats, and it's just fully, now it's jammed. There's nowhere to move. You've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and just the build-up, the anticipation to get, to the start of the race, and eventually the race starts. And don't forget, this is Brandon. Okay, besides being there Friday, Thursday, he's seen cars, and Friday, the first time he ever heard a Formula One car.
Friday?
Yeah. And then Saturday, and then Sunday again.
What was his reaction?
No, it was mental. But now you don't forget, because you got the start of the race, and you're going to have 22 cars coming flying past
that's a whole nother movie.
Yeah. So we were sitting up in the grandstands on Friday. Sorry to go back, but on Friday, the one said, "Listen, get your headphones. your earplugs in," which BlackBerry had, kindly given us. But I've got my own headphones, so I put them on. He says, "Do we need them? I mean, we're quite high up in the stands." I said, "Suit yourself, buddy." And the start of the race. And we're about 350 meters away from the actual start line. Okay, so we're going to now see this drag, because it's a long drag down to turn 1. It's just the most exciting
Were you
feeling.
behind the start line or ahead of the start line?
Ahead of the start line.
Yeah, so they come towards
They're coming towards us.
So by the time those cars come past you, they're full tilt.
Oh, no, they're full tilt. I mean, by the time they get to us, they're already at 220, 230 k's an hour, and then they're going to hit 300 before the end of the corner. And then the start of the race, and then it's just going on and on and on. So, and then from there, and I'm trying to, explain to him, okay, watch this, watch so-and-so is going to pit now, etc., etc. Until eventually, you get this magnificent victory for Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, when I saw that, I was like, this is possibly one of the greatest weekends of watching Formula One.
The great thing about it as well, you go there as a guest of the team that wins. It's very special. That's pretty special. So the race itself was magic. You can't believe how quickly it goes. And you watch that, and it's sort of like all over. By that stage, I've run out of all of my hoof money and Euro money, spending it on all the merchandise shops over there and that kind of stuff. The characters that you see, we saw people. There was a lady who had a dress made Red Bull. Then there was a Ferrari lady. Then there were these guys who were dressed up in like can outfits with wigs on.
But there was one picture on Facebook. It's so cute. A little girl.
She's
in little like denim shorts and got her headphones on.
That little girl was sitting right behind me, and she was there on the Saturday and she was there on the Sunday, and she was just the cutest little girl.
She looked so cute.
She had such a ball. the amount of young kids that were there was just extraordinary. It was so magic to see, and I mean, it's heavy. So, I mean, at least they've got their headphones and that kind of stuff. But they were really, really enjoyed it. So we finished the race and... we managed, because we had organized with Via, our driver, to go and meet him somewhere else, because otherwise the traffic was just going to be too hectic. And we got out of there, I promise you, within 35 minutes. We were back in the hotel. We were exhausted, though. We were also tired, I mean, it's been a long day. And also your adrenaline builds you up so much that eventually you're going, okay, I've had enough. I'm tired now.
Did they have stalls from all the different teams and sort of a walkway where you could go and buy merchandise?
Oh,
and stuff like
no,
that?
they had a full merchandising. I mean, specific teams have their own things. So, I mean, you had Lotus, you had Ferrari, you had McLaren, you had Mercedes, and then you have general Formula One merchandise.
That in
stores
itself
as
is
well.
quite special.
Oh, no, that's amazing. And right where we were.
Yeah.
So we walked out of the grandstand. All the food stalls were there. All the drink stalls were there. All the merchandise stalls were there as well.
When I went to the Silverstone Grand Prix, there was it was the year that Ross Brawn's team with Virgin had
bronze.
Had done so well.
Yeah.
And being British with Jensen at the time and whatever, the race finished on the Sunday, and Ross Brawn went to go and sell Brawn T-shirts behind the stand, and of course the place just ended up being completely jammed. It's very special.
Yeah, no, it is quite amazing. And then that evening actually just took it easy. I mean, bumped into some of the Mercedes-Benz people that were coming back late at the circuit, and we knew they were going to go out and have a big party. But I was actually feeling quite tired, so I just, had a bit of room service and that kind of stuff and chilled out. The following morning, then I met officially the two South African girls who work in the kitchen for the Mercedes team in the hotel. And then we had another S-Class VIP trip back to the airport, and this time with a very, very cool guy who explained the whole basic history of Hungary to us, which was amazing, from the communist regime, et cetera, et cetera. And then that was it. And we got to Budapest, got on the flight, flew to Munich. This was the only downside, is that we arrived in Munich at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and our flight was at 10. So 7.5 hours in an airport.
Did you go out?
No, because Brandon couldn't. His visa didn't allow him to go out. So, I mean, you sit in the business lounge, have something to eat, go to the smoking room, back to the lounge, have something to eat. But the great thing is you can have a shower just before you fly. So
8 hours, though.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Airports can be a pain.
Imagine how Edward Snowden feels.
Exactly. He's been there for a couple of weeks.
That slow lounge for a month.
Yeah. So then, and then we flew back.
That's
and
amazing.
came back.
What an amazing trip.
Yeah.
It was so special. And I tell you, the BlackBerry people from here in South Africa were so brilliant in organizing. I mean, listen, we ran that competition quickly. We found a winner. That everything organized. The schedule that they sent me here in South Africa worked exactly the way that it worked over there. Simon and Sam and their whole team that looked after us, via our driver who was exceptional, the BlackBerry people, the Mercedes people, everyone we met, we had just so much fun. The people were so friendly in Budapest. We don't know how much we got ripped off because their money is a bit strange. So you pay in euros, they give you something back in hoofs, and you're just going, okay, well, I'm assuming that's right.
And I know that he had a good time, but what was Brandon's feeling about the whole thing? He must have been blown away.
Yeah, I think he's still in like a bit of holiday land or something. So I can't wait to see his, what he writes about and his pictures and that kind of stuff, because he also took loads of pictures, and I'm sure it's quite surreal to him still, I mean, what a way to go and watch a Grand Prix, VIP
Your first Grand Prix ever.
Business class, and and the team that you're there with wins.
Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime, really.
Yeah, that's not going to happen every Grand Prix.
No.
I think they should take you to every race because you're the good luck charm.
I am. Thanks. BlackBerry, are you listening?
And you can take me too.
Okay.
Because I'll make you win by even more seconds.
That's it. You do that. So I got to say thank you to BlackBerry for the opportunity and everybody else that was involved.
And well done to Brandon once again.
And to Brandon as well. He was a really, really top-class guy. We had a great time together. And I hope he enjoyed it as much as I did.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears.